Okay, Chris, let's see how you do on the teaching.
Alright, today we're going to work on Star Spangled Banner, just the first phrase here. Can I hear everybody on their first note? Alright, let's try to let it settle right away.
Okay, something you may want to do in that instance, like when you heard so many different pitches at the beginning, you could go ahead and like get one person that's playing the correct pitch, let them play first, and then say, okay, now let's settle in on the correct note. Just have them listen into that one person play.
Let's just try to hear everybody from the beginning. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and another thing you may want to do, like whenever you're conducting a group like this, try to go ahead and force yourself to use one hand so that you're not mirroring all the time, and that way the kids get used to seeing you use your left hand for instructions as in like for crescendos, decrescendos, and cues. However, just be careful with your terminology. Like whenever you cut them off like that and it sounds like that, don't. I believe in positive reinforcement, but you don't want to tell them it sounds awesome if it sounds like this.
Awesome. All right, let's hear.
Let's listen to that again, that last note.
Awesome.
Yes, that wasn't awesome. Okay, good job breaking them down in half. Okay, yeah, that's another common mistake too. Go back and look at the tempo that you're clicking off, and then once they start, it actually starts a little bit slower. So you want to try to keep that consistent as well. Now, once again, we've got that awesome word coming in. Now, check out your eye contact whenever you're conducting the students. You're doing a good job with that. You're not looking back down at the score all the time, and that's a big plus. Yeah, when you hear something like that, like with their articulation at the pickup, don't be afraid to stop immediately and show them exactly where to release the air so that they'll start right together.
Awesome.
Nope, wasn't awesome.
Percussion, would you like to join us? Yes. All right. And 1.
Okay, now, what you want to do is, instead of just letting them rehearse mistakes, at this point you would want to break them down and hear that clarinet individually. And I would go back to just doing one measure at a time until you could get some type of tone quality established, then move on to the saxophone, then to the flute, wherever the problem areas are, instead of just running it. This is a common mistake a lot of times with new band directors is they'll just run it from top to bottom over and over and over, hoping that it'll get better, and unfortunately kids keep rehearsing the same mistakes over and over. That wasn't awesome. Can you show him how to get that high note? Can you teach him how to do that? Now, something that could help with clarinet, Chris, you could take the mouthpiece and turn it around, and you finger the note. That way you know all the holes are covered correctly, and then you can keep adjusting the horn so that you get a right amount of mouthpiece into the child's mouth, and they can feel exactly how you're holding that horn in their mouth, and that usually helps. And then all they have to do is think about how to tongue and blow the air through the horn, and you're holding the instrument for them. That's just something that always helped me when I was dealing with young clarinet players. Look close at his embouchure, see if there's anything he's doing with his embouchure. Yeah, and what I would do, Chris, you definitely have the great personality to do this. The kids are going to be drawn to you. I can tell you feel nervous and uncomfortable with some of the woodwind instruments. So what I would suggest is maybe if you have time to get into a secondary band doing a woodwind instrument, just so that you're forced to play and kind of learn it. That will help you more than anything. Whenever you're out doing your observations and stuff like that before student teaching, really pay close attention to what the band directors are doing, especially with their beginner class, with their woodwinds, and take good notes, because that I can tell that you feel a little bit uncomfortable, with that area. And I know this is tougher to do when you're dealing with your peers rather than the actual students.
They're being really well behaved. Keep on going.
Sir, if you make sure you got one angle and bring it down like so over the other one, like that, like a
Okay, good instruction to the cymbal players.
and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
And another thing, if you notice as you listen to this, the improvement's not too much from the first time they did it to now, because we're just running it. One thing, and a lot of people make this mistake, is the tempo that you're taking it. These beginner or intermediate students, when they're first looking at a new arrangement like this, they need to take it a lot slower. So don't be afraid to really back the tempo down so they can actually learn the fingerings as they're going through the piece. Yeah, make sure you always give a clear cutoff, just exactly the way you want them to get used to seeing you cut them off, at the end of each phrase, okay? A lot of good things happening, but I really would kind of zero in on some of the woodwind techniques and get as much experience while you're here in that area as possible, because that'll be really scary for you once you get out and you're on your own with a bunch of middle school or beginner students, okay? Hope this has helped, Chris, and I look forward to the next assignment.